All right. Hi, I'm Lewis from Glenview Classical Series, and I'm here with Randy Porter. We're hosting Randy for the Randy Porter Show on Friday, this coming Friday, July 31st at St. Paul Lutheran Church at 7:30 p.m. And it's so good to see you, Randy. How are you doing?
Great to see you too, Lewis. I'm doing really well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy and excited about the show Friday. And the truth is, you asked me what should we call it, and I said the Randy Porter Show. I, you know, the truth is the strength of it is on these pretty incredible musicians who will be playing with me. So it's also the Irene Sazer and Jessie Ivry, Dan Plonsey and Ward Spangler show as well. I just the concept the concept is it's evolving, and
Yeah.
but yeah, but so I'm in incredibly good company.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
so you have some great musicians on board for this, and I noticed you said you guys have been playing together. Some of you guys have been playing together for multiple decades.
uh, all of us multiple decades. The newcomer is Jessie Ivry, who you probably know. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
she's a cellist.
she played on our concert in January with the Women Composers Collective,
Oh, okay.
also with Irene.
Yeah, right,
So
right.
she's a great cellist, and she teaches, I believe, down at is it Edna Brewer?
She teaches now at Edna Brewer. She teaches
So yeah,
Stephanie.
that's
Yeah,
right there,
yeah,
just down the road from
yeah.
St. Paul
So she's the
Lutheran Church.
newbie. The first time I played with Jess was in 1998. So that's 28 years ago, which really isn't that long ago compared to how long I've been playing with Irene, Ward, and Dan. We
Yeah,
we all were co-founders of the Composers Cafeteria, 1986, and Dan and I were roommates, and then Irene actually moved in with us as well. And there was just some incredible music making and remarkable musicians who came through um, those years from the late 80s through the early 90s. And then we were in some other groups together, something called the Cabinet, like
hmm
the cabinet, but it was the KABA net, and other things as well over the years. Ward and Dan and I were in the manufacturing of humidifiers with some other people, and kind of a
and that's a group, a music group,
that's a music group. Yeah, yeah. We weren't
not
actually
the business. Yeah,
we were not in the business of there's just not a lot of money to be made these days, and trying to compete with the Chinese made humidifiers.
yeah,
So yeah, for us it was just about the sound.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Nixon. Uh,
Yeah, right.
uh, I'm curious. Composers Cafeteria, is that what you said?
Yes.
What is that?
We started with 7 people as a composer performer collective where we were all performers and composers. It started in our house. It was Dan Plonsey and me, David Adie, who was Irene's husband. Actually, it was before she was Irene's husband, before he was Irene's husband, and Jennifer Reisinger Plonsey. And we decided that we would start our own collective, and it really caught on, and we got nonprofit status, and we put on probably 25 concerts over a period of 4 years. and
Wow.
and because we were, the cafeteria, in that there were so many different styles of music that was being performed, and we also followed most concerts with a really nice potluck cafeteria style as well. Um,
Yeah, that's
any
good branding.
that's right, part of the branding. So and then there were many offshoots of that. That's man that this is the subject of what should be another interview
Yeah.
with, maybe with me, but also with Dan and with Irene. And because there were all these spin-offs, there was a women's group called Overreaction, which was a spin-off of that, OVARY action,
Yeah.
from a women's collective that, like I said, that was a spin-off from the cafeteria. There there were numerous other groups that kind of splintered off, and at a certain point, people had so many different opinions that we realized in the early mid-90s this has gotten too big and hard to manage, and we kind of all went our separate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still very cool, and like it sounds a lot like what we sometimes do with our new music concerts here. On the series, we do at least one new music concert a year, and usually more. And yeah, it is a topic for another podcast, which means
Yes.
more concerts. That seems sure. Like maybe we would talk about a revival, or I don't know. Anyway, so
maybe so.
Yeah, maybe. Let's talk about this concert. So, yes. You guys are a 5-piece ensemble: violin, cello, guitar, drums / percussion, saxophones.
Pretty much. But there's a lot of multi-instrumental things going on and some prepared things going on. Dan Plonsey will also be playing clarinet, and I'll be playing trombone. So my interest in this concert is organizing, traditional sounds, non-traditional sounds, and how do you make compositional sense and nice music out of it. And so you can see this is this stuff called, this is blue tack that works awfully nice in preparation. And there's several ways that I prepare the guitar to make it a kind of a percussive instrument. But this, each string sort of sounds like a bell.
Oh, yeah.
Like a tubular bell almost now. And then you can move things around and you can get a little bit of pitch at the same time. So there will be, a fair amount of that going on. A fair amount of, like I said, of written music. The written music, for me, it's all tied together. I'm a pretty melodic guy, although my wife would sometimes beg to differ. She seems to think that my music sounds a little far out sometimes. Sometimes it does, but I am really concerned with beautiful melodies. And and not necessarily worrying about a tonal center, although sometimes there will be some tonal centers as well on Friday for sure.
So we're getting experimental.
Well, yeah. Good. We're gonna be playing one piece, an old Eastern European Jewish standard called Oifen Pripyatchik, which is a melody that a lot of people will recognize, but we're going to really deconstruct it. And it's, I don't know, for me, it's an important melody, and I think it's timely to do this. This is the piece that's been on my mind. I don't know if you know John Schott.
No.
John Schott is a fantastic guitar player and composer, and he did a 24-hour version of Round Midnight. And in playing with it and deconstructing it, and I thought, dang, he kind of took this idea that I wanted to do that, but with this piece, Oifen Pripyatchik, which I don't really want to do for 24 hours, but this is going to be a really interesting sound exploration, all with people that the other 4 people in the group know this piece absolutely, and I think it has some meaning for all of us. And so we're going to have fun, and that's going to be one of the features. There's 7 written pieces. Mm-hmm. One of the pieces is actually a chorale written by Irene Sazer, which she originally performed in her real vocal string quartet. And then she's adapted it and reorchestrated it for us. And then the rest is a variety of pieces. Like I said, thinking about melody, thinking about this time that we're in. One of the pieces, I was thinking a lot about Messiaen and the Quartet for the End of Time, actually.
Great piece.
The piece that I was trying to play for you, that didn't come through. Mm-hmm. And then several of these pieces will go off into improvisation and come back.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. I think you should do on a different concert, a 24-hour concert, and you make people, the longer you stay, the less admission you pay. And it's actually not an admission fee. You pay to leave.
I like that idea. And we should make it really expensive if you leave like in the first hour.
Yeah, several
Really?
$100s. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you put down a deposit.
I wonder if we can get some corporate sponsorship.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing that's just really in line with, airlines and banks and that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
right. Right. And the Musks of the world. Yeah, right.
What? That a different kind of Musk. Excuse me.
No, that you're referring to, that's the good kind of Musk.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm real excited to hear what you guys are doing for the concert, and I think experimental music is such a really important part of the Oakland scene, especially now that Mills College is gone. They were really, a hub for improvisation and experimental improv, and just a lot of out there stuff.
In fact, at Mills College, I mean, it's had a well. Dan got a master's there, Dan Plonsey, and I would sometimes sit in on Anthony Braxton's classes, and I ended up teaching Anthony Braxton's kids at Thornhill Elementary School, and he did a concert actually to raise money for my salary. This is in 1989.
Wow.
And so it was full of several, a lot of Braxton fans, but lots of parents of these Thornhill Elementary kids. And, Braxton's music is pretty cerebral and pretty unusual. And a lot of most of the parents were like, oh, okay, yeah. But all of these kids, these fourth and fifth grade kids, the music made them so excited.
Yeah.
They were really into it. And I had an epiphany that night, and it really shaped what I ended up doing in education for the next many years. And I don't know if you're aware of my producing a couple of CDs of kids' original music.
No.
Well, you should check out Big Music, Little Musicians.
Yeah.
Or The Thornhill Sound, and a compilation CD put out that was reissued by a record label called The Saga of Padani. And it was really interesting what kids would come up with, giving them a little bit of structure, but then letting them make up their own stuff. And then and Terry Riley came in and did a recording session with us, as did members of the Sun Ra Orchestra, Fred Frith. And they're pretty incredible results.
Yeah, legendary people.
Right. And again, just going back to Mills College, I think that the spark of inspiration came from that night when Anthony Braxton did that concert. That's why I bring all this up. So yeah, the Mills scene has still to this day has made a huge imprint on the bass scene for sure.
Yeah, and so we have classical in our name, the Glenview Classical Series, but in the 21st century, trying to have a pretty broad definition of what that is, and I think that tradition that is a little bit endangered, I think, because of the closing of Mills, is something that we really try to keep alive. And so anyway, it's probably not, it's not an all-encompassing thing of what you're doing, but it seems like it's part of the vibe, at least.
Oh, it's definitely part of the vibe. Oh yeah.
Anything else you can think of before we get out of here?
Not really. I'm just really excited to embark on this new this is first of all, I want to thank the Glenview Classical Music Series for this opportunity.
Sure.
This is my first project post-retirement since I left education 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. And so, yeah, no, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, well, really glad to have you. Thanks for being on board.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, so it's 7:30, St. Paul Lutheran Church of Oakland,
Right.
where all of our concerts happen.
Hmm.
And should people bring earplugs?
No. Well, I mean, I don't know if I mean, we're not planning to get very loud.
Yeah.
But some people, but you know what? I bring earplugs to concerts. I don't think
Me too.
there's this Vinnie Golia 80th birthday concert with 80 musicians. I'm gonna bring earplugs to that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
But,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I'll see you on Friday.
Very good. Thank you.
All
Louis.
right. Thanks, Randy.
Bye bye.